Is there anything better than duct tape? Well, that's a pretty bold statement. I know a lot of people have, their favorite duct tape. I used to be a 3M man myself, the high performance 3M. That was pretty much it. 100 mile an hour tape is pretty good, but you got to come into, the weave. How good is the cloth tape? How good is the adhesive? How good is the plastic membrane on top of the cloth fibers for weather resistance and UV degrading? Of course, there's Gorilla Tape. They pretty much changed the way people looked at duct tape. The adhesive was better. It's thicker. It's 13 mils thick. It tears easy. That's a big thing. Duct tape is sort of hard to beat. Where duct tape falters and electric tape falters is the adhesive. It is a mess when you want to use it for stuff. Exhibit A, good old mallet with the rebar handle, has electric tape. Electric tape gets brittle, it falls apart, it leaves a horrible gummy residue. Really, unless you spend the time to take that residue off, the only answer is to, cover it with new tape. And most guys, that's kind of the answer they go towards. Now for reusable, we've been talking about Coban and the effectiveness of Coban. It's stretchy, it's self-clinging to itself, very similar to the vet wrap, basically identical stuff. It breathes well. For first aid, it's pretty good. I wouldn't want to tie on, something to my truck using Coban though. I had a couple kits, some of the very early videos I did, little first aid kits, when I was into that, and all the tiny little pieces, and you got one match and all that crap. Well, it's pretty handy to have tape on those. I chose to use this tape, and I've gotten several questions about who the brand was, and it doesn't say on here, and I got it as a gift a long time ago. It's almost a PVC vinyl, very similar to like tinting on windows. It's that almost, it's pretty durable stuff. Its thing is it'll also stick to itself. Let me roll out a little bit extra here. But it's more of a static stick. It will only stick to itself. There's no adhesive, and it does a decent job. I liked it for my survival kits because I could take this off as many times as I wanted and always had something that I could close it back up with. It's not waterproof, it's not anything special other than the fact that it sticks to itself and you can use it 1,000 times. It was very handy. So, like I said, as I got this as a gift, and it's purple, not huge on purple, but it worked very well for what it was. Enter in Duluth X-treme tape. And I have a little thing on it. I don't know what I did with it. Got a 6-pack from Duluth. A lot of you guys know Duluth, gear, and they have excellent pants, which I'd love to get. Very cool stuff. My mom got a lot of catalogs, and Duluth was really one of the only catalogs she had that I wanted to thumb through. One day I happened to be reading and found X-treme tape. I think they actually just call it X tape. And let me cut off a little piece. And in fact, let me pause this and I'll find the little card because it's got all sorts of good little info on it. Alright, I'm glad I paused it because I didn't know what I did with it. Duluth Trading, Quick Fix, Silicone X-treme tape. Let me just kind of read you over a little about this tape. 1, it's permanent. 2, self-bonding, no adhesive, air and water tight, seals leaks, prevents corrosion, withstands UV rays, acids, and fuels. It won't melt up to 500 degrees Fahrenheit, remains flexible down to -60 Fahrenheit, tensile strength is 600 psi, dielectric strength of 400 volts per mil. And so essentially you could wrap it more if you need more protection. It is, like I said, it's silicone, which is kind of what allows it to do all those very cool things. I will try to find a Duluth link and put down below, but below, but I'm pretty sure if you Google X-treme tape, Duluth. But I will tell you, I saw an infomercial of what wasn't Duluth, so I don't know if they're just carrying this or they're the original ones, or if there's just a cheap infomercial knockoff. So be careful what you get out there. I did see about a half a year ago a wider tape version at an auto parts store that was designed for sealing up muffler leaks. It was in the radiator section, so it was basically for radiator pipes that would burst. Since this is air and water tight and has a 600 psi pressure, it would be great for any sort of radiator hose leak. Don't think you could actually do anything on a radiator with it, but the radiator hoses that have quite a bit of pressure in them. So I actually have several of these in different kits, and I have 2 in my toolbox now in my truck. Is it better than duct tape? I'll leave up to you. It is very cool stuff. So one of the things it does is it has a backing on there to allow both sides to stay clean. Just little peel off here. It is quite a bit stretchier, and as you stretch it, very similar to like when you do electric tape, you really want to kind of stretch electric tape, it will stick to itself. Now I can leave this little tail flapping on here. It only has 1 wrap, and I can pull, and with my finger strength anyhow, I can't get that to separate. Now if you get this kind of where you want it, you can take it off and reposition it. They tell you not to reposition it after 2 minutes though, so kind of get it where you want it. And what I'm going to do is stretch this around to the front, so I know you won't be able to see with zooming in, but I've got the tail right here. Now with just normal wear, you won't be able to get that off. And what I want to show you, I sound like a dang infomercial, but I'm very excited about this stuff, is I actually have to take my fingernail and peel up a corner. Now make sure I'm on camera here, but I'm going to pull in this corner, and I want you to see the resistance that this stuff is showing. Let me see if I can get more than that tail. It is pulling on itself to unwrap itself. I mean, it is stuck on there, but there's no adhesive. It's only sticking to itself. Like I said, they said after 2 minutes you really don't want to reposition it. Moreover, I don't think you really want to get it dirty. So maybe this isn't the same as the purple tape. I wouldn't put this around a first aid kit or a survival kit or something as a closure device and expect to be able to rewrap it. Now I have played around with it a little bit, and it does work. It probably just doesn't work up to their specs of the 600 psi and all that good stuff. But you probably could use it to close again. The more you use it, I think the less effective it'll get, and the more debris and oils and stuff off your fingers, I think the silicone would be a little less effective. One of the things it talks about is using it as a tool wrap. So as an EDC, I've been carrying around this lighter that I did in the green to see how effective it will. Any sort of electric tape would have, one, already gotten warm from my body heat and started to get gooey and slide. I know for a fact, because I've done that with other EDC devices and had maybe a little bit of tape on stuff, and the heat from your body will tend to loosen that adhesive, and then it gets gummy and it starts unwrapping and it's a mess. This has stayed flawless. This is one single wrap on a Bic lighter. The tail hasn't wanted to come off. Now they say it's permanent, and they say it's permanent after 24 hours. So after 2 minutes not to move it, and after 24 hours they basically say it's permanent. Now that doesn't mean I couldn't take a knife and cut this off, or it's sealed as epoxy or something like that, but it probably won't ever reposition itself or come undone unless you want it to. Another device I used to have before I dur coated on the TK40 was I had a piece of inner tube, bicycle inner tube, as grip, and then I also has a little fire starter. You know, it was just nice to have in a cold truck. It allowed a little bit warmer grip in your hands, so if you hopped out of your truck and were searching for something, you didn't have cold hands. So we're trying out some of the grip. Maybe down the road I will use it on the sledgehammer, but really cool stuff. Maybe not as good as duct tape, but I think it's an excellent tape that you guys should have in your toolkit or bug out bag. You know, it's watertight ability. You could seal up cracks in you know, water carrying devices, cups, glasses, anything like that. They got a crack. You could do a wrap around the outside of this, and one, it would be insulated from heat if you had hot liquids in it, and two, I guarantee it'll be watertight. Very cool stuff. I've got some for radiator repairs and certain things. They say you can put it on your muffler. There's all sorts of little picture back here is marine sport tool grips, electrical connections, plumbing, so under the sink. The old honey to-do list might be a little bit easier with just wrapping some of this tape around there without having to go to the hardware store. Car maintenance, and you know, all sorts of good stuff, as I mentioned. It was a stocking stuffer. I think it's way cool. Is it better than duct tape? I'll leave that up to you. But I think it's something you need in your toolkit, and I will certainly try to find a link and put down below. Thanks for watching.